Bruges, Belgium. Sorry about the lighting, it's a little tragic, but anyway, my name is Katy. I am a solo female backpacker who's a little bit more introverted, and I am currently on my 6th backpacking trip, 4th through Europe, and I'm currently exploring Belgium. So today I arrived at my 3rd stop in Belgium, which is Bruges, and I'm here at my hostel. I'm in a private room just because I have to get a lot of work done, especially today, and this hostel had the cheapest of the privates, but I am not planning on staying in privates all the time. I just needed some space to do work, and for 3 nights I decided to treat myself. But anyway, like I said, I arrived this morning, and I'll be honest, I've been in a terrible mood all day. I'm super stressed out about work and just trying to find something a little bit more steady. And I'm also just kind of frustrated with cities. I think being in Australia, I was traveling to so many like more natural places, like natural sites, that it's almost like I'm having culture shock, which is weird because I don't typically get that when I travel, at least anymore. But just being in a city and it's so loud, there's so many people, I don't know. But we're trying to turn it around. Hopefully tomorrow I'll wake up in a better mood. But yeah, so today I just did a little bit of exploring. I'm here back at the hostel, just settling in, and tomorrow I'll continue to explore. But I don't have a great view, but that's okay. But anyway, we'll see if I get my work done. Maybe I'll do the event tonight. I think it's like games and beer, but otherwise I'm planning on doing events tomorrow and Thursday. So anyway, welcome, and I'm excited to show you here and my next stop in Belgium. So let's have a good few days. Since I arrived earlier in the day, I was able to pretty much have an entire day in Bruges. So I walked around a bit, just kind of getting the lay of the land and exploring. The weather wasn't fantastic, I won't lie, but it was still a nice, pretty day just to wander around. And then I wandered over into the Burg, I think that's how you say it, but basically it's a square and former fortress in Bruges, and it's one of the main squares of the city. In this kind of square area, there is the city hall, but then there's also the Basilica of the Holy Blood. So there's a couple different levels on here. I want to say 2 out of the 3 levels, it's free to go inside. The last one you have to pay for. But you can actually go into the chapel of the Holy Blood, and you can see this Holy Blood. Basically, it is said to be a rag or a cloth that is soaked with some of the blood of Jesus. There's a lot of like debate whether that's true or not, but it's interesting to see. You can't take a photo of it for obvious reasons, but anyway, it is really interesting. And then I just wandered into other churches and just kind of got out of the crappy weather. Also looked at the McDonald's menu because while I don't eat McDonald's, I love traveling and looking at all the different menus the different McDonald's offers. And that was pretty much it for that day. I just worked for the rest of the day. Then the next morning I went for a run and found these windmills, which is a little bit of foreshadowing of what's to come later in the trip. Good morning. It is my 2nd day here in Bruges. I am today going out and checking out some more of the Old Town area, and then I might go do a beer tasting a little bit later because tomorrow the weather is supposed to be really bad and rainy, so I'm going to take that day to do a couple of museums and to do my laundry. So today we're going to go out and try to maximize our time. My highlight is going crazy, but I'll take you along with me. The hostel is okay. Like, I don't have much to complain about. It's just not as social as I thought, but maybe it's just because yesterday I wasn't being super social, so that's probably the reason, but we'll see about tonight. But anyway, let's go explore. I'm going to fix my hair because this is not good, and I'll take you along with me. Also, I look like the ultimate tourist. So I headed over to the Grote Market, which is right in front of the belfry of Bruges. So essentially, as you can see, it's a market. There's various vendors with flowers and food and just various wares. It's nice to go over there. It doesn't look like it, but it was actually pretty busy when I went, which was a little bit overwhelming. So I didn't stick around too long. I just decided to grab a waffle, wander around, take some silly photos and videos, and then I just wandered into this church that was actually not on any sort of recommendations that I saw. And at this point, I did cut this out, but at this point I was feeling super, super anxious, which is what I'll be talking about in the next clip. But I went into the church. I just happened to wander into it, and there was no one there. And it was very peaceful. So sometimes the best things are not on the beaten path. Okay, so I know I was just complaining about being stressed out, but I was standing here, and this is a church, and I walked in there, and there's no one in there, and I hadn't seen this church recommended at all. But it's probably one of my favorite churches I've seen here. So, anyway, I'm not the most religious person, but I don't know, maybe God was like, hey, come inside, relax. I don't know, maybe it's a sign, maybe it's not, maybe it's just coincidence, but anyway. Okay, now I'm gonna go to where I was gonna go, but I just had to mention that because that was quite interesting. But in a good way. After the church, I wandered over to Koningsbrug. I did not say that right. I'm so sorry. But it was a really nice, quiet area, actually, where I was able to get some good photos. And it was just nice to see the canal system when it wasn't in a place that was super busy, super crowded. Then I was planning on going on a brewery tour, but I had to wait about an hour and 15 minutes until the next tour went. So I just kind of wandered an area nearby. And then I went to the Halve Mann brewery, which was interesting. Everything I was reading said that I needed to visit. So I took the brewery tour, which went through the process of how they brew the beer. And something that they talked about, I don't know if it's true because I see varying reports if it's true or not. Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. But basically, they say that there is a pipeline that runs directly from the brewery to their bottling plant, which is just outside of the main city. So I don't know if it's true. Take it what you will. But I will say the beer was pretty good and it was pretty strong. And you got the beer with the price of your tour. I know I look crazy. I'm in my pajamas. I just showered real quick. But I am back in the hostel room. I've just been working a little bit on some things. But tonight I'm going to go to the beer tasting event. Like, I didn't need more beer, but I think it would be fun, a way to meet some other people. But I just basically redid the second half of my trip. Originally I was supposed to go to Hamburg. But I've scratched Hamburg because it was too difficult to get to Rotterdam. So instead now I am going to Poland for a week, doing 2 cities there, Wrocław and Poznań. I'm probably saying them wrong, but I'm doing those 2 cities, skipping Hamburg and taking the night train from Berlin to Rotterdam. You following me? Subject to change, but that's the plan now. But anyway, I just spent a couple hours, or maybe like an hour, trying to reconfigure that. But anyway, back here in the room with terrible video quality, but I'm going to do some stretching, gonna redo my makeup and my hair, and then go downstairs. Probably should eat too. Yeah, these Belgian beers are really strong. And that evening, I did the beer tasting experience at the hostel, which was really nice. And then I went out afterwards with some of the guys that I met. And then the next day, I just had an admin day, took it pretty easy, did laundry, and that was pretty much it, honestly. Sometimes you need a day like that when you travel long term. Let's go to the next place. So I headed to Ghent pretty early in the morning just because I only had a couple days there and I wanted to maximize my time. So I arrived, it's not that far, honestly, by train, maybe like 30 minutes. And I arrived at my hostel, which had a hostel cat, which immediately makes me love this hostel so much. It was a really good hostel. I do recommend it. But anyway, I headed over to the Gravensteen, I think that's how you say it. And it is a medieval castle that dates from 1180 and was the residence of the Counts of Flanders until 1353. It was then eventually repurposed as a court, prison, and even a cotton factory, but it was restored over 1893 to 1903 and is now a museum and a major landmark in the city. So I definitely recommend a visit. It was pretty interesting and you get some pretty good views of the city. Hello and welcome to my final city here in Belgium on this trip, Ghent. So it is a very charming, very cute city. I arrived a couple hours ago. I went into the castle there, which has a ton of medieval history, and I'm really excited to explore this city for the next couple days. I will definitely give you a little bit more of a history briefing and a voiceover, but the city is probably the most charming, and maybe, hopefully, I saved the best for last. So I'm really excited to take you along over the next couple days, and let's go explore. After exploring the castle for a couple hours, it did start to rain off and on a bit, which kind of was a bummer, but I decided to just explore the main city center a bit and along the canal system. And then I actually got hungry. So in Belgium, there's a number of food items you have to try, and one of the food items were shrimp croquettes. So I went to this restaurant here that seemed to have pretty good reviews online. I just got one because I just wanted a little snack, and it was pretty good. It doesn't look great on the inside, but it was pretty good. I give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10. Then of course I went and I got some more chocolates. In this chocolate shop, I think I actually found some Americans to speak with, which was kind of cool. They were getting a lot of chocolate for back home, but I just got a couple little treats. And then I headed over to the Graffiti street, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a street, an alleyway with a bunch of graffiti, and it was actually pretty cool and not scary or anything. I don't know. Sometimes people hear graffiti and they think it's going to be a really scary place, but it's not, I promise. It was really, really cool. And then I popped into some more churches and explored that, and that was pretty much my day because the weather was just kind of crap and I just wanted to get inside, honestly, so I just worked for the rest of the evening. The next morning I went for a nice little run, found a bike trail, and then I headed over to rent a kayak. And this is a great way to see the canals, or to see, really get on the water, and you are in the canals and you can kind of go at your own pace. Of course, you can also do one of the many boat tours that are offered, but I think the kayaks offer a unique experience and something I highly recommend. Kayaking the canals here in Ghent because the weather is mostly beautiful today, and it's a really cool way to see Ghent from a different perspective. I will say the canals aren't the cleanest, but it is a really fun way to explore the water. Sorry, I got distracted by a police boat, but like I said, it is a great way to explore Ghent. You can go and rent kayaks. I'm in a single kayak. You can also get tandem. You can also get tandem kayaks as well. I rented mine from Hostel Uplink. It was 29 euros for a single kayak for 3 hours. So definitely recommend it, especially if the weather's nice. But if you don't want to do kayaking, there's also many boat tours you can pay for, and I want to say they're 30 to 45 minutes. So definitely something to do while you're here. So the kayak rental was for 3 hours. I want to say I spent a little over 2 hours. I didn't want to be on there all day, and I was pretty tired after a couple of hours, but it was a great way to see Ghent. Yes, the water was a little unclean, but I do recommend it. Then I went over to this place called Dulle Griet, which is a bar I actually saw on TikTok of all places. So you can get a lot of great Belgian beers here. There's a ton. So you can find something for any taste. But the big thing here is actually getting these, I want to say it was 1.5 liters of beer in this glass, okay? And you can get 2 different types of beer. And you basically, because the glass is hand blown, you have to give up something that's collateral, which is you give up your shoe, and they put it in these baskets that go up to the ceiling. There's a bell. It's pretty fun. I definitely recommend it if you are a drinker to go check it out, because it was a really good vibe and I had a lot of fun even though I was there by myself. Then I just spent the rest of the day just walking around, and I didn't really have too much of a plan, but I really did enjoy my time in Ghent and also in Bruges. But I was definitely at this point ready to head to my next destination. So you will have to just come back to the next video to see where I headed to next. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. It is free to subscribe and you'll be notified when I post again. And you can also follow my travel in real time on my social media channels there on the screen. And as always, remember to wander far and wander often. I'm here in my 25th country. Welcome to Luxembourg.